I'll tell you, with everything that's happening in this business, as fast as it's moving, as positive as things are, this is going to do nothing but put a lot of money in your pocket. This is one of the greatest things that's ever come about in this business. Last year, Mark Diamond and Angelo Nardone presented at Diamond Club this incredible marketing concept. We've had a year for it to kind of sink in, for the diamonds to all try it out, to give their input, and with all the diamonds, after all the testing they've done, we think we've refined this down to one of the most incredible concepts ever. So this in-home shopping service is something we want to explain from A to Z today. And my first goal is to try to just start out today just to kind of show you what are we trying to accomplish with this, what's our objective, what's the philosophy behind it, and then I'm going to kind of tell you how you'd walk through a situation with a customer. And after we explain the hows and whys, then we're going to redo this stage, put up a living room, and I'm going to go back and do a follow-up with a couple named Angelo and Claudia Nardone. And they're going to say no to the business, and I'm going to follow up with how I would do an in-home buying service with no interruptions, like it was the real thing. And then we're going to come back and show you exactly how many dollars that is going to put in your pocket. So if you'll pay close attention and follow along, I think this will answer all your questions. Let me tell you why we put the in-home buying service together in the first place. You know, we started off calling it a buying service. Now we're going to call it a shopping service, the in-home shopping service, because that's what people are really able to do, is shop right in their home. And our biggest goal is to make the first circle work. That's what we're trying to accomplish. You got in this business and the first thing you saw is you, and you want to make sure that you were making money. What the in-home shopping service does is it increases the volume in that first circle. It makes that volume more consistent so it sticks there. It makes it simpler to accomplish. It's faster, and the best part is it's more profitable than ever before. Now, one of the key features to this is that it doesn't require any sales ability. And that's a key point because a lot of people are afraid to sell or don't think they have a good sales ability. And you know, the reason a salesman has to be a good salesman is because he has to convince you that the dollar you're risking on his product is worth it. What if that product breaks? Did you really spend your money wisely? And so a salesman has to convince you that the risk is great. Well, we eliminate all those problems because we not only take all the risk away from the consumer, so they have nothing to lose, but they have a lot of incentives and benefits to gain. And when you put it that way to a consumer, where it's not only a win-win situation, but they even have more to gain than what they're starting out with a good product, then you're going to find this is the simplest thing that you've ever seen. One of the other things it does is that it's appealing to the fact that many people in marketing today know that the majority of marketing in this country to consumers in the next 5-10 years is going to take place through direct sales. And my gosh, what a better time to start really getting that into the homes now, so that in 5-6 years, when the majority of volume in this country is going into homes directly, you want it to be going through your business. So let's make this thing work well. You know, one of the great things that Bill's always told us is that people stay in this business for one of two reasons. They stay in the business either because they're making money or because they have the hope of making money. And the sooner we can get them making money, the longer they're going to stay in the business, and the more fired up they're going to be, and the faster they're going to go show the plan to somebody else. I have a gentleman in my business who's a contractor. He's 50-some years old. He has a lot of wisdom, and I was listening to him one day when he was talking about why it's so important to make that first circle work. And he says, you know, I like to fish a lot. I'm an avid fisherman, and I wanted my son to learn to fish too, and I wanted him to like it. So instead of just dragging him out when he was very young, every time I wanted to go fishing in the rain or any time I wanted to go fishing, I waited till the perfect day when I knew that I'd catch a lot of fish. And I took him to the easiest fishing hole. In fact, it was so easy, it was almost boring for a good fisherman to go to. But I wanted my son to catch a lot of fish. I gave him my rod, my reel, my tackle, and my son caught 12 fish that day. And his son, it was so positively reinforced, he was so excited about fishing that he was locked into it and became an avid fisherman. Now, I'm sure there's been a lot of days since then where he's probably hiked back into some famous trout stream and come up dry. But that didn't hold him back and get him depressed, because he knew fishing worked. He had had a positive reinforcement, and it's a lot easier for a person to handle negative after they've been fed positive up front. How many times do you get somebody excited about this business and you immediately start pushing them into sponsoring without making their first circle work, and you get them to expose this to 5, 10, 20 people, they get all those no's in a row, even if they make it that far, and they've had nothing but negative instead of positive. What would happen if you could get every one of your people just making $50 to $100 a month right up front? Would they be excited next time they showed the plan? How about just 150? How many people do you know in the last 12 months alone that have just gotten just a $150 a month raise? That's incredible. If you can get your people making money up front, you're going to make this succeed. Ron Pereira has told us that if you do this system right, 90% of the people you show the plan to ought to get involved in some part of your business. If not getting involved as a distributor, they ought to at least become a customer. And I think that you're going to see that with the ease with which this works today, 90% is seriously a low number. I'll also tell you that if everybody in your group was making $50 to $150 a month, you'd probably eliminate 95% of the problems that you've got right now in your business. Think of the phone calls that you get and the little pesky problems you have in your business. If the people that were calling you were netting $150 a month, would they have called and had that same problem? No. Boy, if you could put $50 to $150 a month into the tools, into the gas, and into the functions in this business, think how many problems that would eliminate for you to be building this business. That's exciting what this can do for you. So that's the reason that we're putting so much emphasis on this. Are we changing the philosophy of building a people networking business? Absolutely not. We're trying to enhance it. Because it's hard for a guy to be building a people networking business when he can't put gas in his car to go show the plan. And that's what this is to do, is to make your business cash flow itself, so that unlike businesses like Bob Monahan talked about today, you don't have to go borrow a bunch of money from the bank. Your business will cash flow itself from the beginning. Is this program working, or is it just theory? Well, the concept was fantastic when Mark and Angelo introduced it last year. And we've been working hard on it. And we've been using some analogies and some ideas on the West Coast that I'm going to talk about today. And by people using them, well, I'll just give you an example. We just recently had Go Diamond Weekend. And there was a couple that instituted the in-home buying service, the in-home shopping service, the way that we're showing you today. And that in-home shopping service in 1 month, from that alone, took that group from 5,000 PV to 10,000 PV in a single month. Hey, it gets better. We have a gentleman that ever since he's been using this in-home shopping service, ever since he's been taught the things that we're going to show you today, has been doing 2 in-home shopping services a day, 2 presentations a day. Now listen to this. He has yet to get a single no. So not only does it work, and it works all the time, it puts a lot of volume in your business. You know, in the past, people have said, well, let's just go retail. Well, how do you do it? Well, just do it. Well, this is going to show you how to do it like you've never seen before, and it's exciting how it's going to work. You know, one of the things that you have to be cautious of, though, when you're looking at this, is we have to be business people. We have to be mature business people and understand what a program like this really means. You know, one of the greatest things talked about today on Madison Avenue is one of the greatest marketing concepts is this program you're seeing with the airlines, this frequent flyer type concept, you know, where the more you fly, the more little coupons you get, the more coupons you get a free ticket for flying. That's regarded as one of the greatest concepts that's ever been invented in marketing, because it encourages you to fly more and to fly the same airlines every single time. So it's a great concept. But you know, a lot of the founders of those concepts and a lot of businesses knew when they started that those kind of concepts would take 5 and 6 years. When those corporations 2 and 3 years ago started those programs, they said to their employees, it's going to take us 5 to 6 years to get a fair test of this program to make it work. Now guys, this is a corporation where they have a head of a corporation who has dictatorial control over his people. If he tells you to do something and you don't do it, you lose your job. You've got to do it. We don't have that relationship. You don't have to do anything we say. You are here out of mutual respect. We don't take attendance, and you're not forced to be here. So if it's going to take a corporation that has dictatorial control over you 5 to 6 years to accomplish it, doesn't it make sense that since we've got a little looser control, that it might take us at least more than 6 days? Now, this is important. It's important because a lot of you go out and try it. Now, maybe not here, but I'll tell you what happened to some of our people on the West Coast. They got excited about in-home shopping, tried it for 6 days, and they weren't a millionaire overnight, so they backed up. And we need to be mature enough business people to realize, hey, do you know that after a year with the frequent flyer type programs that they had, some of the employees were just learning what it was? I remember times, I fly a lot, and I remember times 3 years ago where I'd ask the employees about the frequent flyer type programs, and they'd just say, well, I don't really understand, it's not that big a deal. You know, because they weren't into it that much. Hey, I'll be honest with you, just the fact that after a year, the majority of you know what we're talking about is exciting to me. And I'm serious about that. We've got to be mature enough as business people to realize that things aren't going to happen, so if they don't, every single month we got to change to a new idea. This is an incredible concept, and it's working. And if it's not working for you, it's because we haven't done a good enough job of teaching you yet, or you're not doing what we taught you, and that's why we want to take the time today, because it's phenomenal with what it's going to give to you. You know, Amway spoils us. All the headaches business people usually have, you never have to have. So when we have to grow up a little bit and at least give this more than 6 days or maybe a long time like 2 weeks, you don't want to do it. It's got to be just right. So the thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to hang in there and be consistent. Now you're going to find it's going to work very fast for you. But if it doesn't, don't get frustrated. Just keep working through it. Now, here's how we're going to do this today. The scenario that I'm going to have here with Angelo and Claudia is going to be that we've done a follow-up, and I'm going in to present this to them. Now what we do when we first walk in is we pull out the in-home shopping service, and I show them we have a packet here. After they've said no to the plan, they're not interested, I say, well, I know you'll have something you will be interested in. I show them the in-home shopping service and say, here's a pamphlet here that has in it information and literature, some free items, some financial incentives for you. I want them to get excited that, oh boy, there's something free. Have you ever noticed when there's something free, everybody gets excited? And then watch what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to go through and explain all this beforehand so you know what I'm doing when I do it. After I've got that, and they kind of get on the edge of their chair and say, oh, good, something free, I'm going to lay it on the other side of the table so they can't touch it. Now I have their attention. Now, that's important because then they're going to pay attention to me. When are we going to get to see the free stuff? And I'm going to start out by explaining to them what an in-home shopping service is, because most people don't. You know how most people buy their products? They get in their car, go to their parking lot, try to find a parking place, put up with rude clerks, and have you ever thought about this? Stand in line for the privilege of paying them. Unbelievable. Rather than, if I'm making money off you, doesn't it make sense I ought to come and give you service because I'm thanking you for buying the product? People have never thought about it that way because they're so conditioned. So to try to make a person understand a new concept they're not familiar with, you know what the greatest teachers and the greatest leaders and the greatest motivators in history have always done? They teach by analogy or by example or by a parable. And this is what's going to make it simple for you. Instead of you being a great salesperson, we tell a little story, we tell a little example. And the analogy that we use is one that Ron Pereira came up with about a gas station. And it puts Angelo and Claudia in the position of owning a gas station and providing to me an in-home gasoline service. And I walk through all the features that we have in the in-home shopping service, but like we were selling gasoline, and have Angelo tell me, yeah, that's a good idea, that's a good business. Because, see, Angelo and I are separated from the in-home shopping service looking at an example that has nothing to do with what we're doing. There's no pressure. He can make a good objective evaluation. I'm going to have Angelo sold on an in-home service in the gas station before we even get to the in-home shopping service. He's going to have said yes before we even open up the packet. And that's very, very important. Let me tell you some of the things to watch out for as I go through this. I'm going to use the example of, first of all, pointing out that in order to make sure your service is any good, we have to use the product in the first place. And you'll see, we're going to acknowledge that, well, everybody uses gasoline, so we should buy gasoline, right? I'm going to address the problem that a lot of people run into that, gosh, my friends don't like buying from a friend. You know, that's a bad deal if your friend's making money. So I'm going to run that by you. Angelo, would it make sense for me to buy gasoline from you if you own the gas station? And I'm going to put Angelo in the position of, do you think that's bad to make money off me? See, I'm going to have my customer tell me that my approach is really a pretty good idea. It's okay. I mean, wouldn't Angelo want to feed his children off that gas station? Absolutely. See, what you're doing is you're putting the shoe on the other foot, and Angelo's going to say yes all the way along. So when we finally get down to it, he's already gotten over all his problems. I'm going to do things besides buying from a friend. I'm going to do things like talk about the 100% guarantee. I want to make sure he understands in the gasoline analogy what this means. And I'm going to spend quite a bit of time in that analogy talking about 100% guarantee means you get all your money back. You know, think about that, guys. People don't know what 100% guarantee means. When's the last time that you could buy a product from the store, totally use it up, take it back empty and say, I didn't like it? You know what they're going to say? Then don't buy it again. They're not going to, people can't believe you're going to give all their money back. They just can't believe it. So I make sure that Angelo understands not only that he'd give me my money back for my gasoline, but that his oil company is going to refund him so Angelo doesn't lose and I don't lose. It's a win-win situation. It's important that Angelo and Claudia understand these things before we get to the in-home shopping service so all their problems and all their questions are satisfied. So when we get to this, it's just yes, 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 sign us up, bring our products, ain't it great? Okay? Now watch, I'm going to end this gasoline analogy by kind of helping Angelo put words in his mouth for me. And I'm going to have him end this by saying that anybody that's responsible for their family's finances, other than if they were just trying to be stubborn or foolish, would be crazy not to be involved in an in-home service like this. And that'll give me the transition into actually showing them the packet to say, you know, I really agree with you, Angelo. That's why we developed this in-home shopping service. And I'd like to walk by the same points we used in the gasoline analogy to show you that this in-home shopping service covers the same exact incentives and reasons that the gasoline did. Now, I'm not going to go through every sheet that's included in this that has distributor instructions. Mark Diamond made an excellent tape that covers a lot of that step by step. We're just going to go through the steps that pertain to the customer as we go along. So if you're missing that part, you'll understand why. This is just how you would present present it to a customer when we're going to go through it today, okay? Remember again, as I walk through, I'm going to be doubling myself. I'm going to be mentioning again the same things I mentioned in the gasoline analogy so they really start to see the relationship. Because if they said yes at the gasoline analogy, it's kind of hard to change their head and start saying no to this one. And I want them saying a lot of yeses before we ever get to it, okay? You got to realize people are hard to convert. When somebody's been doing something for a long time, it doesn't mean that they think it's the best way. They're just used to it. It's just a habit. I mean, it's something that you've got to make sure that you're giving them lots of incentive to do it. So if you get them saying, yes, 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 I'd change my habit in the gasoline analogy, it's a piece of cake once you get to the in-home shopping service, okay? One of the things I want to do, and watch how I do this, remember I said examples are the best thing to teach by. I'm going to talk about why we give you a card to deliver to your home. And again, instead of just trying to be logical with them, I'm going to use a little scenario about what do you do when you think of getting a product. And I'm going to use a little example of what do you do when you're putting on lipstick in the morning and you think, oh gosh, I've got to get something else at the grocery store. And I'm going to run through a little scenario about what you do trying to find your shopping list. All I'm trying to do is play through how they go about doing their shopping and how simple it's going to be with the in-home shopping service, okay? I'm going to talk about guarantees. Watch how I do this. This is important because, guys, people don't like to change. But if you notice when people get a free sample in the mail, how they use it all the time, I want to make sure these people understand that when they buy a product, you know what they're really getting? They're getting a free sample. If they don't like it, they got it for free. And if they like it, they just got turned on to one of the best products that there ever was. So either way, it's win-win. And it's very important your people understand this. A lot of people say, well, I did the in-home shopping service and they didn't get in. Well, with that kind of attitude, I'm really shocked. Why? I don't understand. You've got to make sure that these people are really walking away enthused and excited about it. And finally, the gift catalogs. Boy, what a brilliant idea these guys put together with the Gamma gift catalogs in there. They are fantastic. Make sure your customer, and watch how I emphasize this to them. Watch the details that I go through. What's a common question when somebody says you get a free gift? What do you usually see on a television or in a newspaper when you see a free gift? You know, $30 free gift with $40 postage. You know, that kind of stuff. The thoughts that are going to go through Angelo's mind, I want to make sure that I'm getting rid of those thoughts. My goal is for Angelo not to have to ask questions. I'm open to him asking questions, but my goal is to anticipate the questions he might ask and to get rid of those as we go along. Again, we're taking the time to explain this to you up front because I don't want to lose the continuity to stop and say, now do you know why we're doing this, okay? And you'll be able to follow along well. The final thing before we get started is I want you to understand that this whole presentation is to try to give you a skeleton outline. There's a lot of flexibility that's been built into this. These guys were ingenious when they put this together because they wanted to build in flexibility. This is your retail business. There's lots of little quirks that you want to add. This is your business that you're out there servicing these people. You can add your own little quirks, do your own little things. We're here to provide a skeletal outline of basics you want to follow. And you want to get it with your outline of little things that you're going to run into on how to do. Like, we use all the consumables, not just 20 of them. We're encouraging you to give your goal is to get a customer and keep them at the highest level as long as possible, okay? Open up all consumables to them. We have people that are even getting innovative enough to open up personal shoppers catalog items to them based on a minimum dollar amount of $20 to $25 so that the PV-BV ratio is high enough, okay? It's your business. You get creative and do what you want to with it, all right? Now let me tell you the attitude you have to have towards this before we start into it. There's two kinds of attitudes you can have if the first person you go out and talk to doesn't get signed up in the in-home shopping service. You can either say, guess I didn't learn it as well as I need to. Maybe there's one part I didn't understand. Go back to your upline and say, now how are we supposed to do that again, Bill? Instead of some of the people in my business who have come back and said, well, I've tried it and you just can't get this part done. If you have that kind of attitude towards sponsoring, have you noticed you don't sponsor? If you have that attitude towards any kind of success in your life, if you notice you don't succeed, in-home shopping service is no different than anything else. If you don't develop a positive, what can I learn from this, how can I be better attitude, then it'll never succeed for you. This is the simplest concept we've ever seen before. And its whole goal is to aim at somebody. I don't care if you've never shown a plan. I don't care if your self-image lays on the floor even when you're standing up. This service is for you and it works and you'll be excited. Okay? We're going to move into this scenario. Remember, here's what happened. My wife Lori and I showed Angelo and Claudia the plan. We left them some information. I'm coming back to do a follow-up. We've answered their questions and skepticisms in the follow-up. And we've reached the point where after all those questions and answers, they're not ready to get started. So we're going to start into this scenario where I say to Angelo, well, I can see that now is not the timing for the business, but let me show you something I know you would be excited about, and we'll go into the in-home shopping service, okay? And great. Well, you really have a nice living room here, Angelo.
Thank you. Do my best.
Well, Angelo and Claudia, I'm glad that we could get together and go back over some of the questions that you have. Lori and I certainly enjoyed being able to show you the plan the other day, and after going through all your questions, boy, it really makes sense that maybe the business isn't the right timing for you right now, as we've discussed with some of the skepticisms you had. But you know, we do have something I know you would be interested in, and you had a chance to try some of the products and things. We want to show you an in-home shopping service that I brought with me that I know this has some features in it you'll really be excited about. I'd asked you if we could just get together for 45 minutes or so tonight, and we've taken about 15 minutes. So since we've got about another 20, 30 minutes left, I just wanted to take part of that time to go through this. This is a package we have put together by some marketing experts that is really incredible. It allows you to buy products that you are already buying, and yet you save a lot of money, get a lot of convenience, and a lot of incentives with it. It's an incredible program. And in this packet, this is your packet. You'll be able to keep this, and has in it a lot of free services and a lot of free things for you to keep and everything. And we'll go through that in a second. But what I want to do first is I want to explain to you what a shopping service is. Have you ever used a shopping service before?
Yes, I have.
You know, have you been able to use one before, Claudia? You familiar with what a shopping service is?
Yeah, I buy some of my frozen foods.
Some of your frozen service.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one of the reasons that we're moving into this area is because this is more and more a way consumers are buying products. And one of the things that it does is it brings a product to you rather than you having to run around out there trying to find the product. And heck, that makes sense. If I, as a business person, am making money from you buying my product, doesn't it make sense that I had to provide you the service rather than expect you to come get it from me? Well, you know, one of the things that I find best to explain this with is a simple analogy we've been using. And I kind of like to do it this way. I kind of like to pretend you're the one that owns a business, Angelo, and I'm the customer. Let's use something that you and I typically buy, like something that, well, like driving cars, we both use gasoline, right? Gasoline is something common to everybody.
Right.
Okay. Let's say that you owned a service station. Now, let's say I had bought gasoline for years from a service station that was just down the street. And you moved your service station in just right next to the one that I usually go to. Now, let's say you and Claudia are friends of mine. Now, if I've been buying gasoline for years from one station, would it make sense for me to go buy from you just because you're my friend? I mean, wouldn't that be nice for friends to buy from each other?
I would like that.
Well, sure. Makes sense. Some people have a hang-up about that sometimes because, my gosh, my friend's got to make money off me. Well, you know, somebody's going to make money to feed their children.
That's right.
I guess I'd rather have you and Claudia feed your children off my dollars than some stranger I've never met. So it makes sense that I'd buy from you.
I think so.
But you know, if you and Claudia moved your gas station to another end of town, you probably wouldn't expect me to have to drive all the way across town just so you can feed your children. So what if you said to me, Greg, this is how Claudia and I feed our family. We want your business, and we don't expect you to come across town and get it. We're willing to bring our service to you. Greg, what if we filled up our gasoline truck twice a day, or twice a week, let's say, once, twice a week, depending on your needs, drove our gasoline truck to your house, filled up your cars in your driveway for you. You and Lori don't have to get out of bed. You don't have to get dressed. She doesn't take the curlers out of her hair. You don't have to drive to the corner, fill up your gasoline, ring the dinger, and stand in the rain. We just bring it to you. Now, is there any reason that I wouldn't buy gasoline if you're willing to give that to me like that?
I think you should. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I'd be crazy not to. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What if in addition to that you said, well, Greg, Claudia and I want your business so much that we're not only willing to drive over to your house and deliver it, we're willing to give you a gasoline that is only offered through us. It's a unique type of gasoline. It cleans your engine at the same time that it gives you mileage. In fact, it gives you almost double mileage with the same gallons will of another gasoline, and it's still competitive in price. Now, my gosh, if I could get that high of a quality of product, and you're going to deliver it to my door, unless I was just foolish, is there any reason I shouldn't buy from you?
It would surprise me if you wouldn't.
I agree. Well, what if you went farther than that? You said, Greg, look, we don't just want your business, we want all of it. And I'll tell you what we'll do. Claudia and I will not only deliver it, we'll not only give you a good product, but we'll give you a 100% guarantee. Greg, if for any reason you and Lori think the gasoline you got last time from us was bad, you know, it knocks in your engine, or you think you have water in your tank, or whatever reason, I want you to call Claudia and I up. I want either next time you're by the service station, next time we're at your house, just get us on the phone, whatever. We'll give you a 100% refund on that tank of gas, even if you've used it all up. Now I might say, well gosh, I don't want you guys to lose money. And you'd say to me, well no Greg, our oil company doesn't charge it. It's their obligation to give us good gasoline. Now if they don't, they will pay us to pay you. So the Nardones don't lose and the Duncans don't lose. Because you're saying, geez Greg, I'd rather you get a refund on 1 out of 20 tanks than you and Lori sneaking off and buying 19 out of 20 tanks at some other place because we want your business. Now, my gosh, I mean, that's an incredible service. If you're going to deliver it to my house, give me a high-quality product, and give me a 100% guarantee, and I don't even have to prove it was bad gasoline, unless I was foolish and stubborn, is there anything I'd miss not to be involved as a customer?
I'd be shocked, I tell you.
Well, I've only run into one challenge with people. You know, you seem to be very positive about it, but some people have said, well, it's just convenient to go, you know, on my way to work to buy it. What if you went one more step and said, Greg, we don't just want your business. We don't just want all of it. We want it all the time. And in addition to everything else, what we'd like to do is offer you from our gasoline a gift catalog similar to one like this. It's worth $25. And Greg, what we'll do for you is every 3 months that you and Lori consistently buy gasoline, we'll give you a free catalog. Now, it's not one of these deals where, you know, you've ever seen these deals in the newspaper where, hey, free gift for only $30 postage. You know, this, as you notice, this thing's already got a stamp on it. And it has lots of different gifts in here. You know, everything from tool sets to furniture, suitcases, my gosh, cookware, cameras, watches. You would give me this free catalog. Why? Because I am willing to help you feed your family and be a consistent customer. You'd be saying, Greg, thank you for being our customer. We'll give you free delivery. We'll give you a 100% guarantee, the highest quality product, and every 3 months a thank you in the form of a $25 gift catalog for letting us stay in business. Now, if I'm a person who takes responsibility for my family's finances, and assuming I'm not a stubborn man or a foolish man, is there any reason that I wouldn't be enthusiastic about a buying service like this?
That's a win-win deal. That would...
Well, you know, we've been seeing almost 100% success with this because everybody agrees with you.
I can understand.
It's exciting. That's why we put this together. I want to show you, now I'd like to go through our in-home shopping service and show you step by step how this shopping service perfectly parallels the analogy that we just used. Now the first thing we talked about was, do we both use gasoline? First question is, do you use products that we use? You know, Claudia, I'd like, if you would, to just take a look at this here. In fact, I have a pen. I'd like, why don't you take my pen? And these are 150 items that we've put down there of items that people typically use. And I'd just like you to go through and just check off some of those items that you use. You don't have to go into great detail, but why don't you, as you go down there, as we can keep up with you, why don't you just kind of say yes as you check each item, and let us keep up with you about how many of those products you use now.
Okay. Yes. 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 Yes.
Use a lot.
Yes. Now you know where all the money goes. Yes. 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 Yes.
You sure you're not
My
already a customer of
goodness.
ours?
Yes. 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 Yes.
I think you're making your point
Yes.
pretty clear.
Yes. My gosh, there's 5 or 6 other categories. I've already got about 25 things. Yes. 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 Yes.
Use all those.
I know it doesn't look it sometimes, but I do. Yes. 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 I have a reputation. Yes. 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 Yes.
Concrete cleaner?
Yes. That's what I clean your clothes with. Yes. 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 Yes.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
You know, we haven't even gotten to some of the cosmetics and things like that are frequently bought products in there.
Can't believe it.
Wow.
You know, as you can already see, my gosh, you've already checked off 20 to 30 products, and you're only a third of the way through there. You know what we're finding is the average family like yours is checking off 60 to 80 items. And as you can see, those are items you're replacing, what, every 3 to 5 months?
Oh, yeah, some of them a lot sooner than
A lot sooner. And you know, as you pointed out, Angelo, you didn't realize you used that many
I
products.
had no idea.
You know, the average family that's using 60 to 80 of these products, if they're replacing them every 3 to 5 months, you know what that means? They're buying 15 to 20 products every single month. In other words, you're already doing the kinds of things that you need to be doing here. The only difference is we'd be offering a lot of incentives in addition to that. You know, with as many products as you're already using, you qualify at the level that our top customers are already at. We have 4 kinds of customers that we work with. We call them Ruby customers, Pearl customers, Emerald customers, or Diamond customers. Now, the higher level customer you are, the more benefits you have. Well, you've easily overqualified already for what we call the Diamond level. A Diamond level customer buys 12 products a month. And my gosh, you're obviously way above that already. Well, we've established that you already use our product just like you'd use gasoline. You know, that's no question of that.
Do we use that many products a month? 12 products a month?
Well, at least that, of all these different categories, I've already checked off a lot of them. We do use that, but Greg, are these all Amway products that you're telling me?
Absolutely. Amway Corporation makes the majority of all the consumable products. Absolutely. In fact, I enclosed here a brochure that will show you several of the products that Amway offers. And in addition to that, we have a personal shopper's catalog that goes into a lot of areas you didn't even get to on here, that sells microwaves, luggage, recorders, the whole works.
But you know, from my experience, I found that, you know, these products cost way too much. I can go to the grocery store and get them for a lot less money.
I think that's an excellent point. And you know, I'm going to agree with you. You will find that the price of Amway products are some of the most expensive that you'll ever see. But let me ask you a question. Are you looking for the best price or the best cost? You know, a lot of people have never thought of the difference. Let me tell you what it means. If you go to a store, let's say an Amway product's price is twice as much as something at the store. But if it lasts 4 times as long, the actual cost per usage to you is actually half, isn't it? Don't be fooled by the container. In fact, one of the things I want to show you here is a sheet published by Amway Corporation on the value of the concentration of Amway products. In fact, on the back side here, you'll see some silhouettes of some of the product leaders out there. And if you compare an Amway product, for instance, let's take an Amway fabric softener. Here's one bottle of Amway fabric softener. Now let's say it was twice as expensive as the product leader out there. But you're going to find that the market leader takes 5.5 of their product to equal one of ours.
We use that one.
Do you really? You know, there's been some brand loyalty surveys done, and they find that once people start using Amway products and understand this simple relationship here, that they would rather stick with their Amway products than any other products they've ever used, because they find out that in reality, even though the price looks more expensive, the actual cost per usage comes out to be less. So in reality, you'll be saving money, Claudia.
Well, I guess what I was just trying to avoid saying, Greg, was that I've tried these products and I really don't care for them.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Let me ask you, how many products have you tried that you don't like?
One.
Okay. Well, that's okay. If I were you, probably, and I didn't know what I know now, I probably would say, well, if one product's bad, then I guess I don't like the others. But you know, we offer hundreds of consumable commodity products. And one of the exciting things is, I really don't expect you to necessarily like every single product that we have. But heck, if you wanted to use hundreds and not one, I think we could both live with that. That wouldn't be a problem. But let's get back to the product that you don't like. I think this is an important point. Forget about the others. Let's go back to the one that you don't like. 2 things. Amway, instead of trying to find a general product that'll do everything for everybody, builds incredibly specific products for specific needs, and in those specific needs, they are incredibly high quality products. That's why they're so famous. I mean, it's almost a status symbol in a lot of homes to even have Amway products because they're so high quality. And what I think might have happened is you may have gotten a product that you thought applied to a general usage and didn't. So I'd encourage you to retry the product, because here's the best part. I've enclosed in here as well a copy, a blow-up of what's on every Amway product. It's called the Amway Satisfaction Guarantee. And it says, if you try a product and you don't like it for any reason, let's say you use it all up, drive over it, have your dog do something on it, whatever you want. I'm serious. You give me back the empty container and we'll refund all your money. You know, this is just like the gas station analogy that says that I would rather have you return a product you're not happy with than lose you as a customer. And heck, can you do that now where you shop? Can you take back a product you didn't like and get your money back? Of course not. And this is why the shopping service is so successful, because not only do we have what you need, not only is it good quality, but if it isn't, we don't expect you to be the one that pays for that. Now, one of the best features of that gasoline service that you two were offering me is that you brought the product right to my door. And what I've enclosed in here is about a dozen cards that we have, and here's just one of them here, that has listed on it just the top 20 to 30 most popular items. Now, as you can see, there are some blank spots on there that you could write in any other products. I told you to deal with hundreds. But I'm going to leave 12 of these with you. I've already put a stamp on them. Lori's my address is already on them. Because what this does is when you run out of a product, you don't have to call me, and you don't have to wait for my call and let me interrupt you in dinner. Your time with your family is more important than anything. And you know, if you ever added up how much time you spend running off to the store, and have you ever noticed when you think of something you need, you're either in the middle of doing the laundry, or have you ever been getting dressed in the morning and you're in there in your underwear in your bathroom trying to get ready, and you remember that you got to get something in shopping list. So you go running around the house in your underwear trying to find the shopping list. It's in the kitchen on the refrigerator. You make sure your neighbors aren't looking to the windows and write it on there. Hey, I enclosed a dozen of these so you can put some in your bathroom, some in your laundry room, some in your kitchen. And they're already pre-stamped. So when you think of something, you just reach in, pull it out, and check the thing off. Heck, if you're in the middle of putting your lipstick on, just take your lipstick, mark it, throw it in the mail. And it's that simple.
Just one? I mean, if I just want one product, I don't have to order the whole, just one?
That's right, just one at a time.
Great.
I've got more cards, so as you run out,
Fantastic.
we can give you more. See, the goal is
I like
to give
that.
you the service.
I like that.
That's the goal.
I can handle that.
Okay? Now, one of the things that we want to do is, in addition to wanting your business and wanting all of it with these incentives, we want it all the time. We want to encourage you to become a bigger customer rather than just buying 3 to 6 products a month. Since you're already buying 15 to 20, we'd like to go ahead and have you be one of our top customers. And so we built in an incentive program here. And this incentive program, we offer 6 different benefits that cover other areas of our business. For instance, I don't know if you're familiar with artistry makeup. Have you had a chance to try it?
No, I haven't.
It's regarded as the best makeup in the country, and yet at a price that nobody can meet. And my wife, Lori, has an incredible setup that she can sit down and show you the entire line of makeup. And that's one of the free services we'd offer, that she'd come in and give you a beauty consultation on our entire makeup line. It's fantastic. One of the second things is we offer one of the best alarms in the market. In fact, we sell more than every other manufacturer in the country. And we have an entire home safety analysis that we could take through your home so that you could be educated not only on how to prevent your family's break-ins from burglary, but protect your family from fire, medical emergencies, and we have an entire analysis. We also have an incredible health and fitness program with a computerized, unbelievable quality health assessment computer sheet. That's one of the services we offer. A fourth free service is that we offer free sign-up for MCI, which is a long-distance telephone network that you can save money on. One of the other things is we provide a fifth service is an incredible water treatment system, and we would do a free water analysis and a demonstration for you so that you could see that people in this country that have been, have you ever picked up a newspaper or magazine and seen what's in your water? It starts to scare you. Well,
I'm reading it.
We offer you a free analysis so that you can get a feel for what it's like to have pure water rather than what you may have been drinking for a while, and you can get that free as one of the services. And finally, there's been a lot of attention lately in this country to positive mental attitude, both in books people have read, tapes they've listened to, and we have available a tape. It's not about Amway, but it's about positive motivation overall that applies to success in any part of your life. And one of the free services is we'd give you a free book and a tape to maybe get you introduced to positive mental attitude, and we have hundreds of other books and tapes available if you're interested in pursuing more of those. Now, those are 6 services. If you become a customer at the diamond level at 12 products a month, which you've obviously already qualified for, you'd receive 4 out of those 6 services. When you qualify at the lower levels, at an emerald level, you'd receive 3 of those. That's 9 products a month. A pearl level is 6 products a month. You'd get 2 of those services. And at the ruby level, which is 3 products a month, you'd get 1 service. I'll be honest with you. It's more profitable for me to deliver 12 products a month to you than it is 3. And my gosh, what I'm going to say to you is, if you'll make it more profitable for me, I'll make it more profitable for you. That's why it's a win-win situation.
These are 4 services that we're going to get. I mean, we don't pay for these. These are free.
You don't pay for them. They're absolutely free.
Good deal.
And we've had a lot of success with them.
I like that.
Now, the final thing that made the gas station thing analogy so great is that you got a free catalog every 3 months. And that's what we have to offer you. Amway prints what is called an AMA gift. And this AMA gift catalog has in it 54 to 100 different items in it that are all valued at a specific price. We have a $10 AMA gift, we have a $15 AMA gift, and we have a $25 Amway gift. Obviously, the better customer you are, the better Amway gift you get. And being a diamond customer that you've already qualified for, you'd receive the $25 Amway gift every 3 months that you maintain that level of buying. Let me just give you an example of how this works. We kind of walked through it real quickly, but take a look at some of the products that are available in there. Now remember, this is by buying products you normally are already buying anyway. You can return any that you don't like and get your money back. We deliver them to your door, and in addition to all that, you'd get to choose one of these free gifts
Every 3 months.
That's right.
I just pick one out and call you or something?
I'll tell you what you do. There's a card on the back here, Angelo. Let's say, for instance, you wanted this tool set. It has the letter AG on it.
Good.
You just write AG in that card, send it in, no postage required, and Amway Corporation sends it to you. No COD, no postage, it's yours.
I like that.
Our way of thanking you for being our customer.
These are fabulous. Buying 12 products a month, let me make sure I get this right. Buying 12 products a month
That's right.
for 3 months. At the end of each 3-month period of time,
That's right.
you're going to give me this, and I pick out any gift.
That's right.
It doesn't cost me anything.
And every 3 months after that, you get another one.
That's pretty good. I don't get this where I go now. I can tell you that.
Well, I didn't suspect that you did.
Let me just say something, Greg. I'm sold on the program, and I think I like the idea. Just a couple things I want to share with you because I'm easy to get along with, but I can tell you how I feel.
Okay.
You know, I know you did a product demonstration here with us before, but I don't really think the Amway products are better than any others, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of like what I'm already using. We've been, kind of a die-hard product user. Some of these others have been brought up, weaned with these other products.
Sure.
So I'm kind of sold on the products we already have. Plus, on the way in from work, from teaching school, I just stop by and pick them up. So I could pick them up en route. So I'm not really sure this program's that beneficial for me.
Well, I appreciate your honesty because I'll tell you the only objection we run into this, it's an excellent program, but people are so used to their habits already, it's almost like you drop off at the store without even thinking about it. And it's almost harder to change old habits than it is think about a gift that you get. But let's kind of walk through this again. I mean, when you really make sense of it, you're the kind of person that wants to get the best value for your dollar, right?
Absolutely.
And isn't time with your family the most valuable thing that you have going for you?
No question.
Absolutely. What makes more sense? If you can get a product, even if Amway products are of equal quality and not better, does it make, can you get your store to deliver them for you? If for some reason you didn't like them, will they give you all your money back? And that free gift catalog that had some things in it you like it, can you get that?
I like that.
When you put that all together, is it really worth breaking a habit? And I think you'll find that it is. I'll tell you what, the greatest thing of all is try the program. And if you decide you just like spending more money and like that habit of stopping off at the store and not being a fan, we'll give you all your money back, no questions asked.
Yeah. You're a hard man to deal with, man, I'll tell you. Makes good sense. What can I say?
I'll tell you what we need to do. I appreciate
think,
you checking out those products. I'll tell you what we need to do. You need to buy products for 3 months to get your first catalog. So what I'd like you to do is, why don't you kind of put a check next to those 12 products you liked, the 36 products you liked the most. So I kind of know the first 12 you want this month, the next 12 you want next month, and the 12 you want the third month. I mean, we'll already have outlined how you're going to get your first catalog.
Like doing it for 3 months in a row.
Right. Now, you don't pay for them all tonight. Don't worry about that. But why don't you just kind of put some priority marks next to those, okay? Now, she's doing that. Let me explain to you that what we will do tonight is we'll go ahead and get your first order tonight. Now, you can do that one of two ways. We can either buy 12 products tonight, or we could buy 6 products tonight, and then when Lori delivers them, she could take an order for another 6. Which would be best for you?
Well, let me tell you this. I don't really think we need any products right now. I mean, we just went shopping. We just picked up half a dozen products.
Just a couple days ago.
Just a couple days ago.
Okay.
So maybe a couple days before that. I don't think we need any products right now.
I'll tell you what. You know, we have a lot of benefits in here for you already. Let me take a look at the top 6 products you've got in here, Claudia. You've got listed here, let's see, you've got a detergent, you've got a toothpaste, you've got a shampoo, a dish cleaner, you've got a fabric softener, and you've got some vitamins listed down as your 6 top priority products. Why don't you go get those 6 products and let me show you something that'll be to your benefit.
Want her to get them?
Yeah, why don't you go get those 6 products? Go ahead. I want to show you something you'll be
All right.
excited about.
What's that doing in the living room?
Well, well,
Jeez.
I was on my way to the laundry room when he knocked at the door.
Awesome. All right, here's my... Why is it behind the couch? I'm sorry, man. Embarrassing me here.
Yeah, we got kids too. I know it's
Clock.
fine.
Well, I
lamp?
didn't want him to think I was a messy housekeeper. I tried to hide them.
I'm sorry, man. We'll talk later, Claudia. Come on, Claudia. This is a joke.
Plants need vitamins too.
I can't believe it.
I can't find the toothpaste. So
Wait a minute. I'm going to be embarrassed to get this now, I'll tell you. My kids love to eat this stuff. I'm sorry. I definitely got... I'm sorry. I apologize. We're going to talk later.
Okay, well, I'm feeling at home at least. Now, these are all very high-quality products. The manufacturers are good quality manufacturers. There's no question about that. But we showed you a lot of the benefits that we have. What you're telling me is you like our products, you like our program, but my gosh, you've got money invested in these products. You don't want to lose the investment you've got. You're conscious about your money, right?
Very much so.
Well, let me ask you, Claudia, how much money do you think you have left in that Tide box there?
how much money do I have left?
Yeah, how much Tide do you have left in there?
Oh, probably about a fourth of the boxes. Maybe about 50 cents.
Okay, well, let me take a look at that. Let me see. Well, I think you're wrong. I think there's about 75 cents in there. I'll tell you what.
I think he's right.
I'll give you... I'll tell you what. Your only concern is you don't want to lose the money you have invested in there, right?
No.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll give you 75 cents, Angelo's figure, off your first box of SA8. Okay? What do you think you have
Too
left
bad.
in this Prel here?
Huh? Maybe maybe a quarter's worth. I don't know. I don't know how to judge that. I guess
Okay.
maybe.
Let's round it off to 50. Is that
Okay.
fair? We'll give you
Okay.
50 cents off your first bottle of Satin Ink. That's no problem.
Why don't you tell us what you think is left?
Yeah. And so I'll tell you what. We'll just go through, since all of them are about a fourth. We'll give you about a fourth to a third off each of these products into your new products, so that what you're doing is you're actually making money by letting me take your products from you and
Fantastic.
getting you started.
That's fair.
So what we'll do is we'll
That's
go
all right.
ahead and order these 6 products. Lori will come back, bring these products to you, and she can find out which of those 6 services you want to start out with, and we'll get you going right away on the program.
What do you think?
Well, it sounds pretty good to me. Maybe we could save enough money to fix the dent in the car.
I'm excited about it.
Angelo,
got a deal.
it's good doing business
Thank
with
you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
Now we want to show you what this means in your pocket. Isn't that why you signed up? Okay, let's talk about that. Was this simple? Can you do this? Doesn't that gas station analogy sell it before you even sell it? Isn't that great? See, even a guy that's negative like Angelo gets excited about a program like that, even when he doesn't want to get in the business. So you should turn every no into a yes. You guys, if you went back to every no you've ever had in this business and did a presentation like we just did, how many of those people would be customers today? Every one of them, wouldn't they? I mean, you think you ought... Let me ask, those of you who I won't say you have a low self-image, but haven't gotten your image up to the point yet where you've gotten the courage to show a plan, or aren't showing as many as you'd like, could you do this? I mean, even if you're showing a weak plan, couldn't you be showing a solid in-home buying service? Boy, this thing's fantastic. Let me show you something. Here's what we're trying to teach people up front. Just try to teach them 2 simple things. Some of you know so much, you're overeducating your groups. Man, you've taught them how to go triple, ripple, diamond, and build depth for the next 48,000 years, and they haven't even gotten a customer yet. Haven't even shown their own first plan. We teach our people to do 2 things. One is show the plan. Don't get good at it, just show it. That's all. Number 2, do get good at the in-home shopping service. Become fantastic at it. Become a pro at it. Listen to the videos that are available on it. Listen to the cassette tapes that are available on it. Practice with each other. Lori and I used to practice contacts on each extension of the phone over the dial tone. You know, I'd call her up and say, oh, hi, Lori, this is Greg. And I'd start asking her, you know, to come to a plan. Well, she knew what I was afraid of. She knew the most negative things I'd be getting on the phone. So I'd call her up and say, hi, Lori. And she'd go, is it Amway? I mean, she was terrible. I mean, she was so bad to me that I couldn't wait to get out in the real life thing because it was a lot easier than what she was putting me through. And we practice so much that you get good at a contact. Get that good at this in-home shopping service. Practice, practice, practice. Get good at this thing. Go back to your friends and relatives that didn't want to get in the business and say, look, I just need somebody to practice on. Would you mind if I just go through this with you? That way there's no pressure on you. You know they're not going to sign up. They know they don't have to get in because it's just practice. They can jab you, make snide remarks, and it's perfect practice for you. Get good at the in-home shopping service. Because here's what I encourage you to do. When you go out there and get people excited and start them showing the plan, I get people that say, man, Greg, we're going to rip this up. This was the greatest weekend we ever had. We're so fired up. We're really going to do this thing. 2 months later, they stop showing the plan. I said, why? They say, well, nobody's getting in. Where did we write that you only show the plan as long as they get in? It doesn't say show the plan as long as they get in. It says show the stupid plan. Just show it. It doesn't say they have to get in. I don't care if you have to drive along the road till you find dead animals. Show the plan. Just show the plan. That's all you're supposed to do. Man, some people say, well, I'm not good at it. Where does this say only show the plan if you're good at it? Just show the plan. That's all you do. Now, can you all handle it? How many people in here could show a bad plan? Can you handle that? Okay, you can show a bad plan, right? Now, if I'm stressing you, you let me know. Can you handle this okay? Everybody in here can show a bad plan. Terrible plan, right? Oh, you're so slick, you only show good plans, right, Dave? Okay, but some of you out here can show bad plans, right? Now, if you can give 5 days a week to a job, which I know you like, but you come to this business and say it's going to get me more than my job ever got, you know, if you're a person of integrity and you're willing to give 5 days a week to something you don't think is so great, wouldn't you at least give 5 times a week to something that you do think is great? Even if you're terrible at it. Let's say that you were really out there. Now, you don't, man, we're telling you as a core person, 1 to 2 times a week, you can double your income the next 2 to 3 years. But let's say you want to go crazy with this thing and show it 5 times a week. Now, can you do that? Could you show 5 putrid plans a week? Okay? Now let's say you show the worst plan ever in the history of this business. Okay? Let's say that your sponsor didn't want you to know about this function because you infect his group. You're so bad. That's so bad. Now, can y'all handle that? Can y'all be that bad at least? Okay? Some of you are worried about being so sharp. Don't be sharp. Just get out there and do it. All right? Can y'all handle that? You're so bad that Bill Britt's trying to get you transferred to another line of sponsorship. Rich and Jay have been in consultation with him. They're trying to get you in another multi-level marketing business. Okay? So no pressure on you, right? You just bad plan shower. Let's say you do that 50 weeks a year. We all breathe easy when you take 2 weeks vacation. You show 250 of the worst plans ever conceived by man. You do great approaches. They're ready to get in the approach, but after they've seen the plan, they're convinced they don't want to get in. Can you do that? So you're showing this to qualified people, but your plan stinks. Now, after they say no, you sit down and do the in-home buying service, the in-home shopping service, the way we just taught you. And if you do that shopping service the way we just taught you, how many of those 250 people would become diamond customers? 250 is right. Guys, we are seeing the directs in our group that have self-image that's high are seeing 100%. They can't get no's. In fact, there's so much money in the in-home shopping service, their wives are getting negative because they're turning around and sponsoring most of these people because they see how simple it is. The people who have never shown plans, who've been scared, they've been coming to functions for 2-3 years and just, we want it so bad. You know, they want it so bad. They're having 70 to 80% success rate with this thing minimum. I mean, what do you think the worst is that you could have? If you showed the in-home shopping service the way we talked about to qualified people after they said no to a plan, what do you think the worst is that you could get doing that? Some of you getting 100, 70, 50, let's say it was as bad as 50%. Let's say that only 50% of these guys would sign up, okay? Now, the way we just went through that thing, you're going to have a hard time getting many no's. But let's say it was only 50%. Let's say 125 of these people became diamond customers. Now, remember, you are the biggest failure we have ever seen. A year from today, you signed up 125 diamond customers and you haven't sponsored a single person. You're an embarrassment to this organization. Do you know how much money you make off 125 diamond customers? You net in your pocket, after all Amway gift expenses and everything, over $6,500 a month. Not bad for being a failure, is it? Now let me ask you, those of you who are such failures that show on the plan, if at the end of the plan, after a year, you could pull out $6,500 checks and start laying them on the table, you think those suckers would start signing up? You better believe they would. I'm telling you, they'll sign up when they see a $400 check. I sat and debated with a guy one night about whether or not $60,000 was worth it. His cousin pulled out a $400 check and said, sign me up. Because, you know, U.S. News and World Report says 92 out of 100 out of you will never get a $400 a month raise the rest of your life. Look what we're talking about doing part-time. This is incredible. If you can believe 125, knock it down to 20. Could you get 20 diamond customers? That's $717 a month profit. How many of you could come home, take care of your own kids on $717 a month? That's fantastic. How many, heck, would just like an extra $700? If I could graph the stress in your house, does it kind of correlate to the end of the month when the bills come in? If you could have an extra $717 a month in that account at the end of the month, would the house be a little happier? Hey, guys, could you teach anybody that's serious enough to want to sign up and come to a function like this, could you teach them to get 5 diamond customers? Just 5? That's $150 a month of profit. I mean, $150 a month is a lot of money. Do you know how much PV that is in your business? 300 PV for 5 diamond customers. Now let me ask you this. If you didn't increase the size of your group at all, just taught everybody in your business now to get 5 diamond customers, if everybody in your group hit 300 PV, where would you be right now? Hey, this stuff is good. Now let me tell you the best part of the whole thing. The best part is when you take all this and put it into your organization and balance it with your networking. And Angelo has prepared some information that is absolutely fabulous, and he's going to show you how to incorporate this kind of profit into an organization and show you how really good this thing can be. Mr. Angelo Nardone.
Let me just say a couple things, because we're not going to take much time here, but I really want to close out with the profitability picture of the in-home shopping service. Because after a couple years involved with this program, I must tell you that we have grossly undersold this program. And I know I have. How many of y'all agree after hearing what Greg's saying that we've undersold this program, folks? Now I'm going to tell you something. I think one of the biggest weaknesses in most organizations is the weakness in retailing. I think we all know that. I think before the in-home shopping service came along, most distributors had few if no customers. Part of the reason being that we didn't have any understanding of how to sell the product. Most people were afraid to ask the customer for the sale. We wondered if it was profitable. Now, sometimes you wondered, was it profitable going across town 45 minutes or an hour where you showed a plan to sell a box of soap? An in-home shopping service, when it was put together so that it would be profitable both for the customer and for you as a distributor to service that product. What I did before this program came about, I think most of us will agree, that I sold the products, but I sold the products more out of guilt than any other reason because I knew I had to sell the product. And I didn't make a lot of money with it necessarily unless I sold a whole lot of them. Although you can make money in retailing, but with this program, it just kind of puts it in perspective. I also knew, because there wasn't such a big retail effort being put on in most organizations, that you and I know both, you have to put about 150 plus distributors into your organization in order to go direct. And I know with this new service that we have now, and if you really understand the dynamics of it and really utilize it to its fullest, for its potential, that you don't have to put anywhere near 150 distributors in your organization to become a direct distributor today and become profitable. Because I'm going to show you a profit picture here that's going to absolutely blow your mind. I just say to you that get ready for a big profitable year. For all the things you've heard about core, all the things you've heard about how to build your business, get ready for a big year, because what we want to do is balance out the mechanics of this business and the basics of the business and sponsoring with a well-balanced in-home shopping service program. One of the steps, Greg mentioned it up here, one of the key steps in core one of the 8 steps becoming a core person is to develop and maintain 10 in-home shopping service customers. That's one of the steps. And I'm going to encourage you all to think a minimum of 10 customers. Just think 10 customers, because that's one of the steps in the core program. Not only do I want you to think 10 customers, but I want you also to think 10 diamond customers. Nothing wrong with a ruby customer, a pearl, or emerald. If I went to a person and they said did not want, I'm sure if Greg, when he interviewed us, presented this program just a few minutes ago, if we elected not to buy 12 products, I'm sure he would accept us as an emerald customer. So what I'm saying is, if a person's not interested in 12, by all means, become an emerald customer. Develop an emerald customer, because maybe you can upgrade that later. But the name of the game is 10 customers and working towards 10 diamond customers. And throughout the rest of this next few minutes that I'm going to talk about a profit picture, I'm going to refer to customers as diamond customers, but I'm not going to say diamond customers, I'm going to say customers. And so just understand and assume I'm talking about diamond customers when I say this. I know for a fact, and one thing Greg did for us so nicely was that he led us to make a decision. And most people, the reason they never succeed big in Amway and all businesses is they don't make decisions for themselves. And one thing we must learn to do in our business is to lead a person to make the right decision, to benefit him first and you second. And you're benefiting him first by showing him the tremendous incentives that we have in the program, and when he understands it and wins at it, so do you. That's what you have to understand. Let me say this. Greg did the right thing. He never gave me much information on the ruby, pearl, or emerald level. He talked mostly about the diamond level. And I must tell you from our experiences that diamond level is what we shoot for, is what I shoot for when I sit down with a person to share this program with them. You know, it's not necessarily what you say when you sign up a person, but what? But how you say it. And I must tell you that when I sit down with someone and I go through the scenario, the program exactly the way Greg Duncan does. And one thing I do when I get to the incentives and I talk about Amway Gift D, the deluxe album, I say something like this. I say, not only, Mrs. Jones, do you become one of our preferred diamond customers, and you get 4 of those 6 services, and you get on 1-year subscription just among friends, but above that, you get every 3 months our Amway Gift album deluxe. Deluxe. Now I open it up, I let them go through it. Now I said, if you prefer not to be a diamond customer and become an emerald customer, and that's okay, I said, you will be able to get 3 of the 6 services. You get just among friends, and you get the Amway Gift album special. That's how you say it. Or deluxe, or special. And if you decide to become a pearl customer, you get 1 of the 6 services, just among friends subscription, and the Amway Gift album regular. So it's how you say it that makes a difference. I know when we bought our home about 4 years ago, the realtor who sold us our home was a very sharp lady. And she took us to our home, and the house we lived in was worth probably about $100,000, the one we lived in prior to moving into our house we bought when we were diamond. And so anything above a $100,000 home had been a fantastic home for us. So what she did was she kind of we gave her a price range, and she went above the price range. And she took us into a house that was worth about $500,000. We looked at it, thought, man, this is great, oohed and awed. All of a sudden, she said, well, let me show you a couple other homes. And now she took us to a house that was worth $350,000. Then she took us to a house that was worth $250,000. And all of a sudden, those $250,000 houses that would have been my dream home, all of a sudden looked like shacks to me next to the $500,000 home. Now, had she taken me to the $250,000 house from our lean-to that we're in prior to that, I would have been excited about $250,000 house. But if I said, this is what I want, she could not have gone any higher. If I said I'm not interested, then she'd made no sale. But she took us to the biggest house first, and that's all I wanted was the best. So it's a matter of you selling deluxe or the regular. You understand what I'm saying? So it's what you say and how you say it that makes a difference. Okay, let's talk about a profit picture here. Why don't we bring that up if we would? Now what we're doing up here, so that we could be fair, is that we're assuming the current Amway ratio per product is 5.30 PV, 5.30 PV. That's the current Amway ratio per product right now. But what you notice what I've done with this is that, if you really figure it out, is that I've really gone below the current Amway figures, and I made a 5.0 just to be on the safe side, in case there's any change in that. So I'm really a little lower than what the norm is. So these figures are really a little on the low side, yet they're going to make you excited. If you look at this for a minute, 1 diamond customer says up here is 600 PV. 1 diamond customer. 600 PV, 12 products times 5 is 60 PV, 100 BV, and your profit is approximately $25 a month. 23, 24, 25, about $25 a month on the average. We teach to become a core person in this business to go out there and develop 10 customers. any level customer. Let's talk 10 diamond customers now. I want to show you the real potential. There's real profit in this. 10 diamond customers is 600 PV a month. That means you're making about $400 to $500 extra a month. How many people here, just for a show of hands, might keep the wife home from work working, making $400 or $500 extra a month right now? You know what kind of time you're spending there probably with that? Probably about, I would say, on the high side, 10 hours a month. That's 1 hour per diamond customer, and that's really a joke because you're never going to spend anywhere near that much time. About $400 or $500 a month. I put down here something just to get you excited. I'll watch this for a minute. Most of us know that you would be working pretty hard to go out there and develop 1,000 diamond customers. And I'm not saying you should go out and do that. I'm going to discourage you from doing that. You can't build a true networking business if that's what your goal is in Amway and service 1,000 diamond customers. I didn't put it up there for that reason, but I want to show you something. 1,000 diamond customers is 60,000 PV. This is a month. That's 100,000 BV, and that means you make about $50,000 a month. Now you're saying, Angelo, there's no way in the world I want to build, and I suggest you don't build your business that way. But let me tell you something, you understand this. We say that education begins at home. And if you as a distributor set a goal to become a core person and service 10 customers a month, all you're going to need in your organization is 100 distributors duplicating you. And 100 distributors with 10 diamond customers, your BV is 100,000 a year, a month. 100 distributors, and I guarantee you, in this Coliseum right now, there's easily 100 distributors in this room that have 10 diamond customers, I bet you. You know what that means? That every month in a Brit organization somewhere, there's 100,000 BV a month being generated just with 100 distributors. And that means in 1 year, 1.2 million BV a year. Now I want you to look down the road a little bit because your pearl bonus, your emerald bonus, your diamond bonus get kind of good. You start talking kind of fast with that kind of income coming in, you know what I'm saying? 1.2 million BV a month. You're not doing it yourself. You have 100 distributors duplicating you. If you're doing this, looking long term, developing a core organization, 10 customers a month. Okay, can we get this raced off here for a minute? I'm going to go ahead and talk a little about some other things right now, so we can race that off real quick. We talk about being a core person in a business. Talking about being a core person in a business. One of the goals, and I'm sure Bill or someone's going to come up here and talk about core in a little bit. One of the goals in this business is to become a core person. And let's look at the very first step. You becoming a core person, and I'll write this as big as I can, a core person. What does that mean in terms of retailing on the in-home shopping? That means one distributor, you. Let's just look at you now. Obviously, as a core person, you'll probably have people in your organization downline from you. I'm talking about you as a core person. You as a core person, one distributor with 10 customers, of course diamond customers. That means you have 600 PV a month. That's what you're running every month, 600 PV a month, 600 every month. And the goal should be in our business, I personally feel, is for everybody to do 600 PV a month. We drew 12 years I've been involved in Amway business, and for 12 years we said 100 PV a month. That's worth probably 10 points right now, 12 years ago. So we got to change our thinking in terms of how we're marketing our product here. Now let's go a little further with this. Let's look at something. Let's look at the next step. And this works so nicely with our core concept. Let's say as a core person, you qualify for core, and one of your goals is to move out of the core level, core area, and move to the next level, which is fast track to emerald. Now you've heard that taught before. You know fast track to emerald, you know what that means? That you've gone out there and you've sponsored 3 at a minimum, and maybe 4, hopefully, core legs. Now watch this for a minute, because here's where I can really get excited about this now. That means you've got 4 people duplicating you. What does that mean? That means there's a total now of 5 distributors. Now there's more than 5 distributors in an organization like this. We all know that. But all I look at is what I do, not what someone else does. Don't count on what someone else does. Think what you can do yourself. Again, education begins at home. And if you can go out there as a core person and keep your 10 customers as you have and teach the others to do this thing, you can't teach what you don't do. You go out there and you have 5 distributors. How many customers are you talking about now? With 50 customers. What's the PV? 3,000 PV. Now here you are with a total of 5 distributors in your organization, 5 core people. 5 core people. Now you got more than 5 distributors, but 5 core people with 50 customers, 3,000 PV. You know what that's not counting? That's not counting the self-use that people are using. That's not counting the number of people who have 7 and 8 customers. That's not counting the big ticket items that hit the organization every now and then. So we're really talking at minimums here. Let's go to step 3. Now watch this. Here's where it really gets exciting. The goal on Fast Track to Emerald is to qualify 4 legs at core. And now all of a sudden you go as a core with 4 core legs. And now the objective is, if this works in width, it can work in depth. And the whole idea here is to build a deep organization as well as a wide organization, because that's where your security's at. And let's say now that you set a goal to sponsor or to help develop about 4 to 5 core people in a leg. And now you've got 4 core legs here, 4 core people here. So now what we have here, a total of 4 legs. And with those 4 legs, you've got 4 cores in each leg, 5 cores in each leg, or a total of how many people? How many core people? 21. 5, 10, 15, 20. You have 21 core distributors in your organization. Let me tell you something, folks. You can get excited about 21 core distributors in your organization. You know what that means? Now watch this. Now watch this for a minute. That means you have how many customers now? 210 customers. Each one's got 10. And 210 customers in that organization will mean to you every month 13,000 PV every month. Now, you know something? You're going to have a bigger volume than that when you have 21 core people in that organization. But let's just count 21 people. Now, watch this for a minute. What do you have at this level in the business? Number one, you are a very profitable, profit-sharing direct distributor. There's no question about it. Very profitable. You're making on the average about $30,000 a year. Hear what I just said? You got 4 legs that are core, and you got cores backed up in each leg. You're making on the average of about $30,000 a year. That means you got 21 core people in your organization, not 200 or 300 people. That means emeralds in the bag. When I counsel people today, and they got an organization shaping up like this, that tells me they're emerald. It's just a matter of time now for it to happen. Just a matter of time for it to happen. Because 2 things keep a person in his business is a relationship and its profitability. And when a guy's not making a lot of money, sometimes the relationship gets kind of tight. But when they're making money, everybody's excited and they're happy. And the relationship develops. Now let's go on just a little further. One more step and we're going to close out. You're going to find there's a lot of people within your organization right now, and I've got them all throughout my organization, who don't want to build a network. All they want to do is retail products. Does anybody have anybody in an organization that don't want to duplicate? All they want to do is sell products? You know what I should do years ago? Sometimes I would turn my back on some of those people sometimes and think that maybe they didn't want to build a big business. And I look back now and I realize that how I could have serviced these people and helped these people make a lot of money in this business, because that's an option in Amway to sell the product if you want. And now I can sit down with those people immediately and say, let me show you this in-home shopping service that we have. And I can show them how they make a lot of money on that program. Never discourage a person like that. They're in your organization right now. You teach the profitability of this program as soon as you can. Now let's take it a step further. Let's take it a step further. And let's say that you're developing an organization like this, and that's what you want to do. That's going to be taught all weekend. But let's say also that there's people out there you showed us plan to, and all they want to do is get involved in the business, buy the product for themselves. All they want to do is develop a small retail business. Has anybody got any distributors like that? Small retail business? I've got them in business today. And what I've done recently is gone back to them and say, hey, let me show you about a unique program we have. The in-home shopping program is going to blow your mind. You're retailing anyway. Let me show you a way to get more bang for your buck. Let me show you ways to run them across town making $2 or $3, you make 25 or 30. And I sit down with those people and I say, okay, let me bring you into business. So here you are as a core person. And you go out there and you show the plan to somebody not interested in building a network like us, but they go out there and they want to just get in, so you sponsor them. So you sponsor person 1. And I'll show person 1 how they can get involved in the business, and they can make themselves, by servicing 10 customers a month at the diamond level, about $400 to $500 every month instead of $20 or $30 a month. How many here would like to make an extra $400 or $500 a month just to service 10 customers a month? That's what we're talking about here. Now watch this. I go to person 1 and say, hey, listen, for 3 or 4 months now, you've done a fantastic job making some money. I said, let me tell you something else. Now listen to this. If you went out there and you went from 10 customers a month to 20 customers a month, you can make yourself about $700 a month. They said, really? That's right. On this program, let me show you. Now watch this for a minute. I say 12, 20 customers a month will probably mean to you about 20 hours a month. Now I'm really embellishing that a little bit because there's no way you're going to spend that much time. You know what that means to me? John or Mary, you know what that means to me? That means on 5 days a week, you're working 1 hour a day. For 1 hour a day, you're making about $700 a month. Does anybody know anybody out there right now that you can go to one of your friends and say, hey, for 1 hour a day, you can make $700 a month? Does anybody know anybody like that? And all those folks that I've sat down and talked about this business, they get involved in the business, I really blew it in that area. I have flat blown in that area because I never sat down and explained this program to them right. Maybe the wives can stay home from work. Maybe you can buy some things they wanted to buy. But let me go a little further and watch this. Call up your inactive distributors, people who renew but just don't do anything in the business, and show them this program. You're building a successful, deep organization as a core person. You're building a nice sideline organization over here. Call your inactive distributors and say, hey, let me show you a program we have that you didn't have when you were once in a business. Let me explain it to you in detail so the money can really make in this business. You know what happened to one of my customers? I had a customer one time that just bought the product every month. Today, that person got involved in the business because I serviced them pretty regularly. They got involved in the business, did what I did in the beginning, just bought the product. And now that person became one of our directs. And they sponsored a direct, who 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 sponsored an emerald. Because I serviced one product a month to that person for over about 2 years. And I realized how many of those directs and emeralds I lost because I didn't follow through properly. So let's say you go out there, you sponsor a few other people. You sponsor 10, 15, or 20 legs of people just want to get involved in the business. It's not taking a lot of your time. All they want to do is market the product. Why is it beneficial for you to do that? Now watch this. This is mind-boggling. When I sat down and played with these figures on this chart, I got so excited I couldn't sleep the first night I saw this. I can see, Bob Monahan said that I can see direct distributors in this business today making $100,000 a year. Now watch this. You go out there and sponsor 15 or 20 groups and building an organization still like this on the side, who go out there and service 20 customers a month, your income, just sideline income, every month, every year, is $91,000 a year. You're making approximately $100,000 a year on your sideline non-direct volume. That's not counting your emerald shaping up over here pretty steady. Who can get excited about a sideline non-direct volume of $100,000 a year? That's what we're talking about here. Folks, I've been on this stage many, many times. And one of my burns to get on this stage over and above the recognition and the realization that we went diamond in this business and the possibilities of having my wife come on stage as a diamond was this. That I hear Bill Bridge say, anybody who walks across this stage is making $100,000 a year. How many get excited about hearing those words? And you sit back there as a 1,500 pen or 4,000 and say, my God, I'm 200 years from that. But I guarantee you, folks, you get involved in this program and get involved in in-home shopping service program as a gold direct distributor next year coming back here. As maybe a pen above where you are right now, you can be making yourself $100,000 a year by servicing people the product just like this and bringing people on board. Not satellite dishes, not water treatment system, not the high-tech items, the consumables. Month after month after month after month, that's where it's at. So folks, let's make this year a year for us to become profitable. Let's make sure when you leave here tonight, or you leave here tomorrow, or Monday morning, you say, man, I'm going to learn this thing cold. I'm going to listen to that video, I'm going to listen to that tape, I'm going to learn this thing cold. And the next time we get together again, be it 2 months or 3 months from now, say, hey, my goal is to get 10 customers on this program. My goal is to get 20 diamond customers. My goal when I show this plan to people, you could turn your nose into $100,000 a year income. My goal is to go out there and get people who don't want to build a business but market a product. Fantastic. Because one day the serendipity is you're going to sponsor them. One of the biggest challenges you're going to have is to keep a customer on this program, to keep a distributor on this program because they're going to want to get involved. How many here have already sponsored your customers? Okay? How many here have a sponsored person who were just selling a product, all of a sudden they became active and built a business like you and me? It's going to happen. One of the biggest challenges is to keep a customer, keep a distributor just selling a product. They're going to build like us. If they don't, you get $100,000 on the side whether you need it or not. They did great, folks. Let's be profitable this year, okay? We'll see you later.